Hi, I'm Dennis Smith, and I am here to help you spend less time and get more done using iFocus today. Let's get started.
This presentation is about your team and projects getting more done in less time, not through planning, not through teamwork, but through team design. It's a view of how things actually work today. We'll start with a few minutes of background, move on to some justification and specifics, and then get into how you can use this information to get better results from your team. This material also shows the inherent need for social network-like applications within business teams and project teams, and also shows how those applications can easily drive the team to distraction and destroy productivity, or be the best thing that ever happened to improve team communications. Team Transitions is based on my work with Internetworked Teams. This comes from the work of Margaret Wheatley with heroic, post-heroic, and branching team descriptions, and Lickert and Lickert's model, which includes exploitive, benevolent, consultative, and participative organizations. One common root of these is what I call the informal organization. That is an organization that builds up around the formal teams, the organizationally defined teams. These are the teams that actually get the work done. The informal organization tends to organize itself. There generally won't be a chart. The actual operational leaders may not be the ones designated by the management, and this is the underground that will direct the project, like it or not, performing well or not. The key concept is to elevate that informal, self-organized organization to make it the basis of the acknowledged and actual operation of the team. There are 3 project team modes that we're going to discuss. The first is the chain of command mode, where the person at the top basically gives everyone their daily instructions or weekly instructions on what they're to do. The second is hub and spoke, where the leader of a smaller team generally interacts one-on-one with all the members of the team. And the third is the internetworked model. While this is frightening to some leaders because it looks too much like the chaos of the internet, this is the informal organization that actually sets itself up to get the work done. The chain of command organization presents many kinds of pain. Information is often incomplete, its transfer is inefficient, and some critical information is hidden, including new ideas. This often causes surprises for an increasingly isolated leader, and that leader, when they do receive information, focuses too much on rewarding heroes rather than on rewarding the people who prevented problems from occurring in the first place. The hub and spoke organization is to some extent just a flattening out of the hierarchy. The difference here is mindset. The attitude is that the leader is working with the team instead of working over the team. In this diagram, the individuals are shown as the colored-in squares, and their frequent communications are shown with arrows. On the left side is a hub and spoke team currently forming. What you can see here is that some people are not yet attached to the team, and there's reasonable communications throughout. The problem here is the people who aren't connected, which in the case of this project were people who were supposed to be on the team but aren't actually. On the right side is a different kind of a problem. Here, 2 people are essentially the go-betweens between 2 segments of the organization. In both of these organizations, they are very dependent on the people who are the hubs. If those people become overloaded, become a bottleneck due to their unavailability or latency of getting communications through them because they aren't current on their email, become controllers of information rather than disseminators of information, they can quickly turn into a heroic leader and become the problem rather than the solution to getting work done in a timely manner. Hub and spoke organizations grow into internetworked organizations. Once there are more than 6 to 10 people, sub-hubs will tend to form, and those will eventually spawn off into their own hub and spoke sections interconnected with the previous hub. As this continues to progress, you end up with a communications network such as shown on the right. Your choice as a leader is if you will allow this to happen reactively or if you will proactively work to build this high communications, high performance organization. Projects usually transition from the left to the right. It starts with one person they move into a hub and spoke mode, and as the team grows and becomes more complex, it moves to internetworked. There are some exceptions, of course. In the factory, the chain of command is the normal manner of operation. However, they switch quickly to hub and spoke for quality teams for problem solving. Often, organizations move to the left for operational issues or for triage, and move to the right for creativity or solving problems that you don't actually know how to solve. Taxes, HR policy, all need to be chain of command, as do many other regulated aspects of the organization. So here is a summary of why you'd like to have an internet-worked organization. People have better access to the information in the project. They can make better decisions, which yields more predictable results. Many people believe this is a superior work environment. They enjoy their work more. Innovation can improve. And the organization has improved resiliency since there are fewer people who are key to holding the entire communication structure together. Many people look at internetworked and they are concerned about what the reward is for potentially exposing their organization to the additional chaos of allowing it and fostering it to work in an internetworked manner. This chart is from the paper you see referenced, where it simulates cumulative work over time in a turbulent environment. The red line is a loose structure and the blue line represents a tight structure. What you can see here is that the loose organization is faster to organize and start work. In fact, in this simulation, it gets down to work and starts being productive in about a third the calendar time of the more tightly held organization. More stunning, though, is that if you look at the accumulated work over time, the loose organization accomplishes about 4 times as much as the tightly controlled organization. And looking at this data, that advantage continues throughout the project. The way to make this work for you is to proactively work with the internetwork structure, since it is likely to be there no matter what your org chart looks like. So focus on the real organization and don't waste your time trying to make the hierarchical view of the project work. Design the organization by modeling and teaching the roles that we've talked about here, and also plan for a few people who will be uncomfortable with this type of operation since they don't naturally communicate in the style that's necessary for this organization to work. The key aspect of managing this change is to make this organization, which has previously been invisible, the visible part of how you work through the project, work through the organization. This slide lists 4 areas that you can work on to get this process started. First is to improve the business working relationships between the people. Many organizations have isolated people for a long time, and you need to start bringing them together. This access to people and their knowledge and skills through improved business relationships is key. Lastly, you need a way to disseminate real-time information, and let me tell you that email isn't it. I'm not sure that any of the current range of social network tools will do this either, but there are many fine tools available that need to be carefully selected based on the needs, size, and geographic distribution of the team. So to summarize the points we've covered as to why you should be interested in this, you can improve the predictability of your project due to the better information flow. That will allow you to deliver it sooner at a lower cost. Innovation will be improved as the people will be working together more effectively. Project management is easier because there's more information available, and you have better team resilience with less dependence on key individuals. To get started with this, the first step is to go find some self-organized teams. They undoubtedly exist in your organization now, people who are working together collaboratively, working together on a specific issue or topic. You can learn from those teams and also see firsthand how this works. The other items on the list we've either touched on in this presentation, or more information is available about them in typical management and leadership classes. Internetworked Teams is a powerful concept that will help you plan your work better and work with others better as you gain this improved understanding of how people actually work together.